Of the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and I love watching that TV for their coverage because they go beyond the borders to bring you exactly what's happening. Don't miss out. Keep watching out for
Please have your seats.
Thank you. You may have your seats.
Her Excellency Chief Dr. Joel Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, members of Parliament here present, ECOWAS Parliament, Liberian Parliament, Special Representative, ECOWAS President here, also invited guests, one and all. I want to welcome you formally to this special program on increasing women's political representation in the sub-region at Bella Casa Hotel at this time. We're sorry for, a little bit of a delay. Obviously, it had to do with other things. So right now, we need a volunteer for the invocation. Do we have one?
In our midst, take your glory, take your honor, and the name of the in Jesus' name.
With a traditional welcome, along with other things. That you would like to call up all of the ECOWAS women parliamentarians. Please, can you come up?
Howard Taylor, our strong representative talking to Honorable Edwin Snow, the ECOWAS ambassador to Liberia, representatives from the ECOWAS Parliament, the head of UN Women in Liberia, our strong and energetic woman, Julie Weah, Honorable Julie Weah, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me say traditionally, all of y'all welcome here.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Vice President of Liberia, we will be giving you authentic Liberian material to take back to your home country and know that Africans, we are one, we will not accept xenophobia in Africa. We must unite, love one another. Our brothers and sisters on the African continent, let us celebrate our diversity, our legacy, and our African culture in African solidarity. So we call all the Crusaders for Peace to come one. Please, madam.
laughing? Are you working? No. I know. Seriously, being on one was here. Being on one. I am here. Being on one was here.
Amongst all of the 15 countries in the region, countries in the region to have chosen Liberia as a special thing. In spite of our difficulties, in spite of our challenges, all they see is what? Opportunities. And so we can't let them just come and go the same way. We want them to know that Liberia is what it's supposed to be. A peace-loving and democratic nation. And so we want to extend a very special gift. And I would like to do the process if I have to go from one person to the other before it reaches to the representative of the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. We have with us, I don't know whether ECOWAS Female will introduce me, but let me introduce myself. I am the traditional queen of Liberia. I'm representing the elders, the chiefs, the zones of this great republic. And so, with the honor that have been bestowed upon you on behalf of the Vice President is authentic. It's not just any girl honoring you. It's the traditional queen of Liberia. No shit. We have here, if you don't want your child to be great, don't send them to school. So we have come to take this kola nut of 7 kola to our Token 2 representative and at the ECOWAS Parliament. On behalf of Chief Dr. Swakoko Chua Howard Taylor. And anyway, we will get a blessing for the ECOWAS. We take it to our son first.
Take a shot.
Then you will cash out to the ECOWAS ambassador.
Shot in there. See it? Right there.
That's you know.
Now, the ECOWAS ambassador of this kola, the white rice is purity, the kola means love and African solidarity.
Thank you, brother.
We have our distinguished honor on behalf of all the Liberian parliamentarians and ECOWAS and all of the women here today to give you this bowl. The rice signifies what we eat, and if you don't eat rice in our country, then that means you are not welcome. So to see this rice in this bowl means that you are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. Express to our speaker our deep appreciation for all he has done during his tenure to improve ECOWAS, to improve our region, to provide more opportunities for our women. We are grateful that he has come. So please present this bowl to him as our appreciation and our welcome. And the traditional gown, yes.
And then we know that you left your home. You left your wife and she's worried about you, but you are in good hands. So we want to give you a gift for your boss, but we also want you to take something to your wife. So, for your boss, taking the message, we say you are welcome. Then, this is for your wife, but you have to hold it with your left hand. This hat is blessed by the people of Liberia. Made in Liberia, not abroad, right here in Liberia. Blessing. Gift. We give you the head first before the tail. That president will be blessed. Then we give you this gown made in Liberia from cotton, designed in Liberia for your boss. When you go back to wherever you're going, Remember, there's a country called Liberia with a traditional queen. So we give it to you. But we have to have the blessing from our
So on behalf of our traditional queen, our chiefs, our elders, and our women, we say to the speaker, thank you for everything. We say to the speaker, appreciate it for what he has done. As he wears this, let him remember that this is room away from room. We hope we'll see him after this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
The Vice President of this great country, Liberia, most distinguished personalities that are here representing themselves and their organization. I'm here to represent Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker really would have loved to be here himself this morning, not because of the importance of the event today, but because of the great role that women in the Parliament of ECOWAS have been playing. Vice President, I will deliver every message that I will given to me today, and I will deliver the message very clearly. That certainly we have an important event here today to signify the importance of women, not only in politics, but in the Parliament that he represents himself or heads. And indeed, I want to assure you that he will give every single support, great support to the women, and indeed the women parliamentarian. And as I want to assure you this morning, I want also to know that he would have been here himself. He wanted to be here himself. But because today is the day that he has to harmonize 3 days of work that has been done since we arrived here, and that's why he insisted I should come and represent him. He sends his regards, he sends his support, he sends indeed his admiration for these wonderful women, for the role they're playing, not only for this country, but indeed. Thank you.
I want to say in this public manner, these dancers, most of them you see here are from the University of Liberia. And we have graduates from the university. But what people don't know, I want to thank Her Excellency Joa Howard Taylor for the support to education, to the Crusaders for peace. Thank you, ma'am.
Edwin Melvin Snow, the ECOWAS Parliament, heading the Liberian delegation, and we'll be giving him 1.5 minutes because of time.
Senator Lafiaji, and of course the president of ECOWAS Female, who happens to be my queen, my sister Philomena. Today is extremely exciting to see the vice president to honor the women of the parliament. The ECOWAS Parliament will never be a pleasant place to work without strong women like you. You Because even in the Liberian delegation, with just one woman, Mahaja Fatah Sana, she covers the voices of all four of us. When she wants something done, she makes sure it's done. That will show you how strong Liberian women are and how strong West African women are. And we just want to say thank you to the Vice President. Liberia has a rich, strong history of women. From Doris Henry's, and if you read the Liberian history, you'll understand how powerful our women have been, up to Chief Swakoko, and then Joa Howard Taylor, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and you can name it. So today, our women have been honored. Now, Vice President, we really want to thank you as we go through this program, except in taking up my 1.5 minutes, we have to appeal to you. Like Senator Lafayette just said, today we are actually harmonizing our 3-day seminar. So we're actually closing today. Because of the respect to the Vice President, a woman who the speaker suspended the closing ceremony. So we come here, attend the section, attend the meeting, and then we go back to close our session. So we'll be trying to be very brief. Eat your food, and then we'll be able to leave. Thank you.
The obstacles and challenges that are affecting our women of being ably represented in our parliament. We all know the problems, but we are shying away of addressing it. So they want their rightful place. And I'm happy that all the men here, I want them to stand up. These are the E for She champions. Our men here, please stand up. But we mentioned to the Vice President that we want the men to be part of this meeting. She said, please go ahead, because it is the men, including the women, that will make this objective achievable. We thank you for finding time to come. We want you to please go ahead and mobilize more men to address the obstacles that are affecting our women from being properly represented in the parliament. Let us do away with the attitudinal issue. Women, they are mothers, they are sisters. Why is it that we are pretending not to give them a space? Now, the political parties, I'm happy that we have representatives of political parties. We have Mandela here, we have Telia here. They're going to tell us their experiences, how they've been able to shoulder the responsibility of coming out. We know there are problems of economic empowerment. But beyond economic empowerment, women, you also need to support your sisters, support the women folk. Because if you don't support yourself, it will be difficult for you to get the larger support of the men. Men, we have a responsibility that you are partners, but we want men to be reliable partners to women. I thank you.
All protocol observed. First of all, I want really to commend the Vice President of Liberia and the ECOWAS Ambassador for this really great initiative for hosting this very important dialogue. For you and women, it is really a pleasure to be a partner on this dialogue. This dialogue comes in a very, very opportune moment for Liberia, as Liberia is undertaking various national initiatives towards the implementation of the SDG, and also many initiatives on increased women's political participation. As they asked me to be brief, I want to highlight only 2 elements. I want to remind all of us that all the ECOWAS countries have signed up to CEDAW. CEDAW is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, particularly Article 7 of CEDAW specially states that state parties shall take all appropriate measures to eliminate discrimination against women in the political and public life of the country, and in particularly shall ensure to women on equal terms with men the right to vote in all election and public referenda, and to be eligible for election to all publicly elected bodies. B, to participate in the formulation of government policy and the implementation thereof, and to hold public office and perform all public functions at all levels of government. C, to participate in non-governmental organizations and the associations concerned with the public and political life of the country. As we know, all ECOWAS countries have signed the CEDAW. It is really time to implement fully the CEDAW. The second element that I want to highlight is the Gender Inequality Index and the correlation between the Gender Inequality Index and the Human Development Index. Gender Inequality Index measures the human development cost of gender inequality. Thus, the higher the gender inequality index value, the more disparities between females and males, and the more loss to human development. I want to share with you some statistics. According to 2016 Human Development Report, of 188 countries assessed, for example, Liberia ranks 177 on the Gender Inequality Index. Rwanda, on the other hand, ranks 84, while Senegal ranks 120. A review of the index, or a review of the gender composition of parliament, if you see Rwanda and Senegal, can give you an indication why. I always say that the participation of women in politics, it is no longer activism of women. It is development issue. It is the right of women. That is why, for now, we need really to come together, men and women together, to ensure that women, we are really represented at all levels in parliament, in the government. We always say that we request a minimum of 30%. For me, I always say that, why not 50%? Because we represent 50% of the population. This is something I always say that we need to push for. As I want to be brief, I want to thank our main champion, Ambassador of South Africa, Ambassador of Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, my sisters from Embassy of Sweden, British, Irish, and all he for she present here for all your support on the web. I want particularly to thank the government of Canada and the government of Sweden, who has the feminist policy and who are always support UN women work. Thank you so much for your continuing support and looking forward to fruitful discussion and innovative and strategic way on how to have 50% of women in parliament and in the government. Thank you so much.
ECOFEPA é a rede de mulheres parlamentares da CEDAW. O nosso compromisso com as mulheres dos 15 países é fazer cumprir a Agenda de Desenvolvimento Sustentável. Não haverá Agenda de Desenvolvimento Sustentável se as mulheres forem excluídas deste processo. Quando as mulheres são respeitadas, quando as mulheres vivem com dignidade, quando as mulheres têm acesso aos cuidados de saúde, têm acesso à cultura, têm acesso a todos os bens essenciais, nós teremos mulheres que serão mães extraordinárias, esposas magníficas, técnicas e profissionais profundamente competentes e realizadas. É por isso que a sociedade, e faço também um apelo aos homens, têm que entender que já não é uma questão de dar espaço às mulheres. É uma questão de desenvolvimento sustentável que as mulheres possam participar. Não há futuro para a humanidade e para o mundo se as mulheres continuarem a ser discriminadas. Nós temos que lutar, enquanto parlamentares, para que todas as leis de discriminação contra as mulheres sejam abolidas. Nós temos que levar aos nossos parlamentos nacionais e à sub-região leis que promovam a igualdade, que promovam a equidade, que promovam o respeito pelas mulheres. Eu não sou propriamente uma defensora cega das cotas. Eu entendo que a lei das cotas é neste momento necessária para que as mulheres possam usá-la como instrumento para o poder. Porque nós somos competentes, nós somos capazes, nós não precisamos de favores. Nós temos competência para chegar à liderança, para ser primeiras ministras, para ser presidentes dos países, para ser presidentes dos parlamentos. Mas neste momento precisamos das cotas, mas nós somos competentes, tal como todos os homens. Eu espero que os homens entendam isso. Nós somos tão competentes quanto vocês. Eu quero finalmente aproveitar esta oportunidade para agradecer à rainha local e aos seus dançarinos e dançarinas, para a delegação da Liberdade, particularmente no nosso colega e amigo Snow e na senhora deputada Adja, para além dos. Muito obrigada e felicitações.
And English will be on channel 7. If you're speaking English, that's it from Leipzig or wherever, French will be on channel 7 and Portuguese will be on channel 1. So I hope I don't get you confused. Can I repeat that again? If they're speaking Portuguese, like she was speaking just a while ago, French will be on channel 1 and English will be on channel 7. If you're speaking English, French is on channel 7, Portuguese is on channel 1. Thank you very much. Right now we have the honor and the pleasure to welcome our own mother, the Vice President, Her Excellency Chief Dr. Jogo Swakoko Ziade, our Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and she will be the great pre-commandant also give us an overview of the current status of Liberian women in Ghana.
For at the last moment, coming to make sure that our women were welcomed properly and to send a very special message to the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament. We've come today just to have a chit-chat. We're just talking about our issues. And if you listen to some of us in the legislature, we want more representation of women across the governance space. And I think this is what this is about. I had a chance to open the special session. More than 10 friends elected in the Nigerian governance system, and I think almost all of them lost their seats. Senator Binta, Maureen, and the list goes on and on. So it's not just happening here. So we have a very, very, very serious problem. Hopefully today, even though we don't have much time, this is just the beginning of the many dialogues we're going to host. As we go towards 2020 and 2023, what can we do? Before I take my seat, I want to remind all of us here, the Liberian delegation, that the decisions concerning our country is taken in the national legislature. Some of you don't want to be politicians, but I say wherever you are, if you are a woman in a house, you have to be a politician. How do you get your husband to do the things he doesn't want to do? Or your children? That's politics. If you work in an organization and you're responsible for rules and order, how do you get everybody to obey? You have to massage the system in a way that you get the end result. But we did something great in 2005 and we dropped the ball. I come from a particular political party, but I know that if we are not able to bring strong women on board, maybe next year you will see that there will be no women voices. There's only one woman in the Liberian Senate out of 30 men. So what does she say? How does she speak on our behalf? If we want funding for agriculture or education or business, who speaks for us?
beyond political parties. It goes beyond families. It goes beyond communities. And we have a problem because we make up 52% of the votes, yet we continue to sit and women lose their seats. It is a problem, and if we don't find a way around it, we end up where we were before Madam Salih became president. So I'm calling on those of you who come to be our ambassadors out there. We need to start to think about it. We need to have to put together some forums, Marie, to talk about what we do, how we do what we do, how can we get more women in the national legislature. If I would sit here and tell you it's an easy assignment, it is not. But the fact is that we're not many. And so one person gets overwhelmed, and some people say, well, I don't even want to come back. I'm tired. Because we do get overwhelmed. But I believe this is a beginning of many, many, many meetings. And it will help all of us to begin to talk about these issues and find a way to go beyond political parties. How can we help those who are interested? There's a younger generation that's coming up. How do we help them? And you know, when you talk about the presidency, maybe it's a different level, but when you're talking about people in the parliament, we have to find a way to go beyond political parties, and that is my only plea today as we begin this dialogue. The Minister of Gender had traveled to the U.S. To be a part of the delegation at the UNGA, so she's not here. And I think I've said over and over that we've lost space, we're losing influence. The women who are at that level, including myself, we are overwhelmed. And maybe you might say, well, it's Joel Taylor, it's not about me. It is about a seat that is occupied by the first female in our country. What can we do to support that person? What can we do to ensure that we get more voices in the places where it matters? If not, we'll go right back to where we are, and I'm praying that we'll not live to see that. Thank you so much for all of you to come out and have this discussion.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and a round of applause again. And we would like to call up those who are supposed to be a part of the panel. You can just take your seats before we go to the special statement on the women's struggle for political and economic empowerment. We're calling up Mombedu Harrell, I hope I got that name right. ECOWAS Women, Peace and Security. Please take up your seat there. We will call up Corporal Howard, Women in Cross-Border Trade, to come up. Mr. B.M. Kota, we don't know whether he's here, but he should be able to talk about the status of persons living with disability. Is he here? Yeah. Okay, sir, you're welcome. You can come up. Vic June Muto, Deputy Representative, Liberia National Student Union Litsu, Representative, you can come up. And Madam Jeannie Cooper, Women in Business, just to be here. And once we're done with the statements, then of course we'll start with our presentation for discussion, and that will be under control. We'll be taking about 10 minutes for that particular portion. If we have to extend the time, we'll be up to 12 minutes. So right now, like you heard my Excellency say, there's one female senator in the Liberia Senate. Senator Normally Kangalor. A lone voice. But what can she say? How much, to what extent can she exert herself? She's not here today, but she's Senate Representative Celia Ure, who participated recently in the district of
Y'all make me cry now. Thank you very much. Her Excellency, Madam Vice President, members of Parliament from Liberia and from ECOWAS, and Mr. ECOWAS Ambassador, the Diplomatic Corps, Madam UN Women Rep, and distinguished guests here today. It's an honor to be here today to proxy for a brave and strong woman, Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence. As everybody has said, she is the only female senator. I know this is surprising because we come from Liberia, a country that produced the first woman female president, and immediately after a female vice president. But it goes to show how serious the issue is. We've made strides, but we have not really gotten there. It's also an honor to be here today in the presence of Her Excellency Chief Jewel Howard Taylor, a brave and strong woman who has made women empowerment the center of her political life. Just last week, I was at a program with her, the opening of a college at the University of Liberia, and I listened to her in admiration, talking about the role that she played in the leading role that she played in the establishing of the Ministry of Gender of Liberia today. I felt very proud. And in that moment, what was going through my mind was just that I need to work with her. I need to learn from her. I want to learn from her. One of the most powerful things about women is our ability to focus on the cardinal issue, human development. That goes beyond any party line. Promoting women participation in politics is very important. Protecting women who are participating in politics is even more important. The recent trend of violence against women politicians is something that is very dangerous for our growing democracy. In 2018, Cornelia Kura Tokba contested in District 15 to be representative. During her campaign, she was attacked, she was abused. Up to today, there's been no legal redress. I too recently contested in District 15. Even though I was in fear from what happened to Cornelia, it didn't stop me. I continued to fight in my struggle to increase women's participation. I was intimidated, I was threatened by people in high places, but I didn't let that deter me. I continued to move forward. I remember being in tears and wanting to withdraw from the race on certain occasions. But what kept me going is the solidarity and the support from the women of Liberia. They may have been able to win the election or be declared winners of the election, but what we won was way bigger. We came together as women, we showed solidarity with each other, and we decided to stand firm and protect each other and make sure that no woman will ever be intimidated from joining politics. Senator Lawrence was one of the few voices in government that really condemned the acts against us. She went as far as summoning state security actors to Senate, and it was through that summoning that we saw honest steps towards actually protecting us in the field. Sadly, I never fully understood or fully appreciated the strength and the power of women in solidarity until I was abused, attacked, and feeling trapped. Those negative sentiments were completely wiped away when women organizations, women in power who I never met, who I never worked with, came together and stood up and fought for me when I could not fight for myself. stand firm and promote and protect other women, just as I was protected. ECOWAS parliamentarians in ECOWAS must set the stage of this fight. We must look at setting certain norms, certain protocols that all member states will be able to adopt, and that way we're assured that our local governments too will follow suit and protect us in ways that we should be protected. In conclusion, I must highlight again the milestones that Liberia has reached by electing the first female president in Africa and immediately the vice president. This brings me a lot of pride. Let me also salute all the brave women in politics in Liberia and all the brave women in politics in Africa in general. You guys have paved the way for us and will always be eternally grateful for everything that you do. Let's all continue to work together for a stronger Africa, which can only happen with women's continual involvement in politics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tutelia. You're a very young but brave little woman. Right now, we want to call up the Honorable Representative Julie Weah. She's the chairperson of Gender, House of Representatives, for a brief statement.
I'm here in two capacities, the Women Caucus and the Gender. I would like to begin by saying thank you to our Vice President, Her Excellency Dr. Chukwu Habutira, the ECOWAS Commission, and sorry, she took me up. Honorable Dennis, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to recognize her. Honorable Dennis.
Thank you.
She's member of the Women Legislative Caucus and the representative for District Number 4. Sorry, you have to be over there because the seats are occupied.
I'm enjoying
You are early. Thank you for being here. So again, I would like to begin by saying thanks to you, our Vice President, Dr. Chukwu Habutira, the ECOWAS Commission, the UN Women, for this opportunity once again to talk about the ways to increase our chances and involvement in politics and governance as women of Liberia. The people of Lofa County are deeply grateful. Regarding the topic, women's struggle for political and economic empowerment. I think we have talked this a lot for many years. We have identified more problems affecting the growth number of women who are in politics and the level at which they are serving, ranging from culture.
A feminist, I'll call myself a realist. Because the thing is, I believe not just in gender equality, but in power. So my thing is, rather than giving someone the opportunity because they're a female, give them the opportunity because they have the capability, right? So this piece is titled, I Am Legend. They say education is the key to the future. Yet far too often we get denied the right to it. Far too often our goals and dreams are set aside because of what society prioritizes, and so, regardless of how many times I've imagined myself on a broken path, here I am. I am legend. Regardless of dark days and hard phases, I am here. A phase of change, a product of pure creativity, a mind whose capabilities will override the frequency of your strongest activity. I am legend. In a world where masses and PhDs outrules the need for poetry. I am a woman who will break the ties and even the sides. I am not meaningless matter, and I am not meaningless matter, and I shouldn't only matter in matters that matter to you. I complement your existence like the batter beautifully beaten to perfection to a creamy, crusty crescent crystalline cake. I am alive, and I am a legend. I am a beautiful, upright swan on setting waters who struggles under, but you will never see my fears, for I am here, and I am legend. I am the blood pressure of a diabetic. I will rise at any given time, in any given space. You see, in a world where we would rather attend funerals uninvited and leave graduations unattended because we weren't invited, I stand on pillars made of titanium with lightning bolts running through my veins, the electricity from radon, the toxicity from Marie Curie, the theories from Einstein, the insight of Stephen Hawking, all of whom I birthed, the talents of Silent Storm and the blessings from Jah Rah. We all are legendary legends. Thank you.
And I can just begin to tell you how proud we are of you. And she's a legend, and we are our legendary legends. So right now, we're going to our panel. And please, let's respect time because we know our people are here and they have to leave. So it's going to be a minute and a half. A minute and a half, you know, across. And then we will take like 2 or 3 questions. And of course, we just close it up finally. So the floor is open. You can start. My friends and my friends, what is the problem of Nigeria? Black men and women from the Nigerian legislature, the voice women in this house. I want to say to Madam Vice President, I think this is a very good beginning, a very big start for all of us. I'm just in Francis, playing election. I lost 2. Am I going to give up? No, I don't think so. It is important that the women any development coming from your economic growth. I'll stop there. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Mr. PM Kota? So you got a minute and a half, sir.
Unfortunately.
Please, unfortunately. A minute and a half, sir.
Well, distinguished officers of the special representative of the president of ECOWAS Commission in Liberia, Her Excellency, Madam Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President, Republic of Liberia. Let me take this time to congratulate the conveners of this conference with the aim to increase women's participation and representation in politics, held at the Balakasa Hotel here in Liberia. We, as people with disabilities in the land, are the poorest of the poor and the most marginalized. Notwithstanding, we have worked with women of substance like you, especially Her Excellency, Madam Vice President, who has brought the issue of disability to the development agenda. And we want to use this occasion to commend Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. When women suffer marginalization, you can imagine how worse it would be for people who are considered quote-unquote disabled people or people with disabilities. As a matter of fact, we who are disabled our disability is as a result of extreme poverty and the lack of empowerment to ensure our mainstreaming into the development program of the nation. We, in most times, are considered as the least, and in fact, because of the lack of skill in education. I'm just glancing through my papers because of the lack of skills in education.
Got 30 more seconds.
30 more seconds. We are therefore reduced to report to the street. You find us in street corners where we report to beg for alms as a means of livelihood. But to go to the issue of empowerment and women participation is cardinal to the human development of people with disabilities. We need to join you, and we have to stand side by side with women. Because without integrating our issue into the women agenda, then our issue may even be left at the bottom of the ladder. Therefore, we want to, in this occasion, join women of ECOWAS and the UN women everywhere in this country. We are particularly concerned about the affirmative action for participation and representation of people with disabilities, or women, in fact, in general, at the national legislature. We are saddened to hear that only one woman is at the Senate. Of course, Madam Vice President is also a member of the Senate and serve and preside over that, which is well, quite an influence position for many of women in our society, and I hope that she can use her influence and her affluence to increase women participation. And even if you have to bring a tie, let it be that tie you bring must be in favor of women development and participation.
Thank you.
So, my time is up?
5 seconds.
Okay, so finally, we are aware of the new bill that has been introduced at the legislature by His Excellency the President of Liberia. That bill has reduced our strength by the act that established the National Commission on Disability. We're supposed to have, that act allotted to us 3 seats. The new proposal is now giving us 2 seats, and we'd like to raise this concern so that all of us together can ensure increased participation for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the voice of Mr. B. Kota, speaking on the status of persons living with disability. Now we'll go to Madam Kapu Howard, a woman in trade, cross-border trade. 1 minute 30 seconds, please. Let's observe the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will start off there. Our rural women, traditional women, today, I'm happy to be part of this particular program. Because we are rural women, we have been national many years ago. Our dealership in Liberia. Because we are afford. Maybe more for your daughter to be senator. You not get here. The men can get to your one side. We are not in the budget. We are not in the budget to help our children. It is for rural women to go more women in our house. Because what? We don't want to get straight on our phone. To cross over dead water, to work for 3 hours, to run campaign. We can make it. But they ain't not there. They ain't not there. We are going to ECOWAS and the elbow. You play that we are women. So we have more women in leadership, especially in Parliament. Yes, see, look at that boy lesson. So people are going to have money. The people that are in the way, and I know what we're going on. No more wants to win. And we will get the opportunity to win. But okay, they have on others. I will win. But I'm not president. You know what you can do for. I appeal to you. Our UN women, that I know your part of women when they go for West Side, they even further go for no. You go for money and give the women and are willing to go in and leadership. No money there.
Okay.
That money can go to that. Yeah, I can show you what I have, but they can be lesson. You will see rural women in the house, either senator or local senator. What's about senator and representative? I get the ball, give me that power, give me that strength, and I don't know nobody. When you let something, and I ask people say, come on, no one can be there. They ask people, what's our going? What can we do? Come on, when the women are fair, now the boys are and be seen on myself. Okay. My people are going to be like, Black President, whoever they are, they need to, who not permit, because the number they said, they tie their way. We don't be like that. We need that more outside.
Okay.
So we want to follow.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Victor Muto, Deputy Representative, Liberal National Student Union, Linton.
Yes.
A minute and 30 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Her Excellency Dr. Joel Haltila, Vice President, Republic of Liberia. Liberia Foreign Development Partners. Women of Liberia, UN women, ladies and gentlemen. I want to use this time to say a very big thank you to UN Women Liberia for nominating and sponsoring my trip to Abidjan to attend the Beijing Regional Consultation. I'm grateful. Today, I've been asked to say a few words about women in politics and how we can increase our representation. But I want to say here that whenever we stand up to say we want to participate or we want an elected position, we should be qualified enough to stand up to this man. I sometimes feel a little bit embarrassed when women start to say, elect me because I'm a woman. I think that statement should be the last. I think that statement should be the very, very last sentence of the paragraph. When you sit at the leadership table to speak for the people you represent, you should know exactly what you're doing. If not, those men in the house will probably just push you around. And I was told one time by a lady that even if you're not invited at the table, you should take a seat. But then I thought to myself, how legitimate would my voice be if I'm not recognized legitimately at this leadership table? So my caution to young women in Liberia who have admiration for politics, and even those that do not have interest right now, I want to tell you that once you are qualified, you are competent enough to stand up and understand women's issue and speak on behalf of the women you represent, we will see the gender equality in almost every part of the sectors we appreciate to have it in. So I think I will just stop here, and because of time, so we tend to
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if I remember your name. Okay, can you go ahead, man? A minute and 30 seconds, please.
Good afternoon to everyone. Madam Chief Dr. Taylor, thank you for organizing this meeting. Representatives of the High Table, our ECOWAS Women Parliament, I want to thank you for coming from your countries to visit Liberia. We appreciate the representation at this event. Today marks 1 year. By the way, I was asked to speak on increased women in peace and security prospects for the region. And I was told I was going to speak for 10 minutes, but since I'm 1 minute, I will try and wrap it up.
Yeah, please.
So today marks 1 year and 2 days since our regional president inducted us into office as the SWEPO representative. So the SWEPO is the creation of the ECOWAS Gender and Development Center endorsed by ECOWAS in 2007 with the purpose of coordinating and optimizing women's goals and initiatives in conflict mitigation. In Liberia, the SWEPO serves as one of the monitoring group for Liberia National Action Plan and the focal coordination group for West African civil society organization. So just a short story as a precursor to what I want to say. You know, I told the women that there are 3 ways I don't want to die. I don't want to die by container, I don't want to die by fire, and I don't want to die by water. Because of that, when I see container coming, I can get out from my car and exit the room. Similarly with water and fire. So imagine my fear and how terrified I was when my friend called me to say that, did you hear what happened? That Tilia Europe was almost burning her house. It was really terrifying, and I looked at the prospects for women in 2020. Previously, we had written a lot of press conferences, and we felt that we were not getting heard. And we felt that it was time to take action. After all, even though some people oppose it, but peace is taking action. How else would we have achieved this peace today if women of Liberia had not stood on the airfield and demanded peace for Liberia? So peace is action.
30 seconds.
First of all, studies show that peace and security is inordinately linked to the lack of women's political participation. And the absence of women at the table is rooted in unequal power relations and violence against women. 2017 remains the year for the highest participation of women women as legislators, 165. Yet as women enter politics, increases the wave of violence against them and seriously increasing. I must speak as a Liberian woman with a fair grasp of Liberian women issues. For the past subsequent elections, violence has been increasing. As I speak to you, the District 13 report on the violence that happened there is yet to emerge. Freedom of information serves as a precursor to all other rights. Yet, we have not heard updates on what has happened to Madam Justina Taylor for expressing her right or expressing her views on the elections. Furthermore, cyberbullying increased and made its mark on the face of the political surface of Liberia. We need to address all of that. We need peace and security. The Dhaka resolution that was signed in 2010 offers us a path that we need to look back to. Several institutions of UN, ECOWAS, and high-level personnel signed the Dhaka resolution.
Thank you.
And yet we want to hold those who signed that particular resolution accountable, and among those is 50% of the budget.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Magdala Cooper, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Your Excellency, Madam Joe Howard Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, members of the High Table, our sisters from ECOWAS, International Development Partners, good afternoon everyone, and let me not forget the women of Liberia. My name is Magdala Cooper, and I am so honored to be sitting and sharing this table, this panel with all of you, all of my sisters here from the business community, from another politician to civil society. It's a great privilege to be here with you. I came here today because I was invited. Number two, I brought my 2 daughters with me, Ella and Nita, who's sitting back there. Ella and Nita, please stand up. our future strong women of Liberia. It's important for me to get my daughters involved because they've watched me, my home, run for office. I ran in 2017 and I ran in 2019. Just finished by elections. And I like what Josephine Francis just said, that she ran, she didn't win, but she has no intention in quitting. And I think I stand with her in that. Because it's, some of us will continue to run. Yes, thank you. Some of us will run. We will pave the way for people like my daughters. But we gotta remain strong. Not winning an election doesn't make you less of a woman. And women must stand for women. Whether we like the lipstick color she's wearing or the hairdress she's wearing, we must stand for each other. And I will speak to our leaders as well. It is very important that we are supported by leadership. All of those so-called he for she's, it's time to not just say words, but actually put action behind words. Because we are no fools in Liberia. We are strong women. And we know our contribution to this nation. We know our contribution in keeping this nation peaceful and alive. And feeding from our husbands to our sons and our children, keeping them healthy and keeping them alive. Our contribution to this country will not be taken for granted. And I know our sisters from the ECOWAS community join with us, hand in hand across West Africa, and Africa is large, and across the world. We must stand together, women. We must stand together. And it's no longer time to decide whether we like her. Let's vote for her. And let's support her financially.
5 seconds.
Thank you, darling. This is time that women have real conversation. There is Proposition 9 on the table right now, which is that reserving 15 seats for women, females. Women all women. Women all women. Women of Liberia all women. Let's fight for Proposition 9. Let's stand up. Those 15 seats must be reserved for women. And my dear young sister, I must tell you something very important before I give up my 5 seconds. Whether she's qualified or not, it is time to use affirmative action to get us in. We will decide whether her qualification can keep her in or out.
Thank you.
God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well heard from our panelists. And so we're going to take 4 questions, a minute, please. And of course, they will tie in all of those and take about 2 minutes to answer all of those questions. So the questions we'll be asking will be centered around women in business.
Any development coming from your economic growth. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Mr. PM Kota? So you got a minute and a half, sir.
Unfortunately.
Please, unfortunately. A minute and a half, sir.
Well, distinguished officers of the Special Representative of the President of ECOWAS Commission in Liberia, Her Excellency, Madam Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President, Republic of Liberia. Let me take this time to congratulate the conveners of this conference with the aim to increase women's participation and representation in politics, held at the Balakasa Hotel here in Liberia. We, as people with disabilities in the land, are the poorest of the poor and the most marginalized. Notwithstanding, we have worked with women of substance like you, especially Her Excellency, Madam Vice President, who has brought the issue of disability to the development agenda. And we want to use this occasion to commend Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. suffer marginalization, you can imagine how worse it would be for people who are considered quote-unquote disabled people or people with disabilities. As a matter of fact, we who are disabled, our disability is as a result of extreme poverty and the lack of empowerment to ensure our mainstreaming into the development program of the nation. We, in most times, are considered as the least, and in fact, because of the lack of skill in education, I'm just glancing through my papers, because of the lack of skills in education.
Got 30 more seconds.
30 more seconds. We are therefore reduced to report to the street. You find us in street corners where we report to beg for alms as a means of livelihood. But to go to the issue of empowerment and women participation is cardinal to the human development of people with disabilities. We need to join you, and we have to stand side by side with women. Because without integrating our issue into the women agenda, then our issue may even be left at the bottom of the ladder. Therefore, we want to, in this occasion, join women of ECOWAS and the UN women everywhere in this country. We are particularly concerned about the affirmative action for participation and representation of people with disabilities, or women, in fact, in general, at the national legislature. We are saddened to hear that only one woman is at the Senate. Of course, Madam Vice President is also a member of the Senate and serve and preside over that, which is quite an influence position for many of women in our society, and I hope that she can use her influence and her affluence to increase women participation. And even if you have to bring a tie, let it be that tie you bring must be in favor of women development and participation.
Thank you.
So, my time is up?
5 seconds.
Okay. So finally, we are aware of the new bill that has been introduced at the legislature by His Excellency the President of Liberia. That bill has reduced our strength by the act that established the National Commission on Disability. We're supposed to have, that act allotted to us 3 seats. The new proposal is now giving us 2 seats, and we'd like to raise this concern so that all of us together can ensure increased participation for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the voice of Mr. B. speaking on the status of persons living with disability. Now we'll go to Madam Kafu Howard, a woman in trade, cross-border trade. 1 minute 30 seconds, please. Let's observe the time. Thank you.
Our rural women, traditional women, today, I'm happy to be part of the particular program. Because we are rural women, we have been national many years ago. Our dealership in Liberia. Because we can't afford. Maybe you want for your daughter to be senator, you're not getting here. The men can get to your one side. We are not in the budget. We are not in the budget to help our children. It is not for rural women to go more women in our house. Because what? We don't want to get straight on our phone to cross over dead water to work for 3 hours to run campaign. You can make it. But the hand not there. The hand not there. We are going to ECOWAS and the elbow. You play that no women. So more women in leadership, especially in parliament. We see, look at that election. Some people are going to money. The people are in the way, and I know what going on. No more wants to win. Everyone got an opportunity to win. But okay, they have another. I will win. But I'm not president. You know what you can do before. I appeal to you. Our UN women. That I know you're part of women when they go for West Side, they even further go for no. For money and give the women and are willing to go in and leadership. No money there. That money can go to that. Yeah, I can show you that they can be election. There was still women in the house, either senator or local senator. What's about senator and representative? I get the God give me that power, give me that strength, and I don't for nobody. When you let something, and I ask people say, come no go no can be there. They ask people what's our going. What can we do? Come when the women are fair, now the boys now and be seen on myself. Okay. My people are mobilized. Back president go over there. They need to put up what the number they said the time they are away. Hello, be like that. You need that more set. Okay. So we want to move forward.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. June Muto, Deputy Representative, Liberal National Student Union, Linso.
Yes.
We need 30 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Her Excellency Dr. Joel Haltida, Vice President, Republic of Liberia. Liberia Foreign Development Partners. Women of Liberia. UN women, ladies and gentlemen, I want to use this time to say a very big thank you to UN Women Liberia for nominating and sponsoring my trip to Abidjan to attend the Beijing Regional Consultation. I'm grateful. Today, I've been asked to say a few words about women in politics and how we can increase our representation. But I want to say here that whenever we stand up to say we want to participate or we want an elected position, we should be qualified enough to stand up to this man. I sometimes feel a little bit embarrassed when women start to say, elect me because I'm a woman. I think that statement should be the last. Thank you. I think that statement should be the very, very last sentence of the paragraph. When you sit at the leadership table to speak for the people you represent, you should know exactly what you're doing. If not, those men in the house will probably just push you around. And I was told one time by a lady that even if you're not invited at the table, you should take a seat. But then I thought to myself, how legitimate would my voice be if I'm not recognized legitimately at the leadership table? So my caution to young women in Liberia who have admiration for politics, and even those that do not have interest right now, I want to tell you that once you are qualified, you are competent enough to stand up and understand women issue and speak on behalf of the women you represent, we will see the gender equality in almost every part of the sectors we appreciate to have it in. So I think I will just stop here, and because of time, so we turn to
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if I remember your name. Okay, can you go ahead, man? A minute and 30 seconds, please.
afternoon to everyone. Madam Chief Title, Howard Taylor, thank you for organizing this event. Representatives of the High Table, our ECOWAS Women Parliament, I want to thank you for coming from your countries to visit Liberia. We appreciate the representation at this event. Today marks 1 year. By the way, I was asked to speak on increased women in peace and security prospects for the region. And I was told I was going to speak for 10 minutes, but since I'm 1 minute, I will try and wrap it up.
Yeah, please.
So today marks 1 year and 2 days since our regional president inducted us into office as the SWECO representative. So the SWECO is the creation of the ECOWAS Gender and Development Center endorsed by ECOWAS in 2007 with the purpose of coordinating and optimizing women goals and initiatives in conflict prevention. In Liberia, the SWECO serves as one of the monitoring group for Liberia National Action Plan and the focal coordination group for West African civil society organization. So just a short story as a precursor to what I want to say. You know, I told the women that there are 3 ways I don't want to die. I don't want to die by container, I don't want to die by fire, and I don't want to die by water. Because of that, when I see container coming, I can get out from my car and exit the room. Similarly with water and fire. So imagine my fear and how terrified I was when my friend called me to say that, did you hear what happened? That Delia Europe was almost burning her house. It was really terrifying, and I looked at the prospects for women in 2020. Previously, we had written a lot of press conferences, and we felt that we were not getting heard. And we felt that it was time to take action. After all, even though some people oppose it, but peace is taking action. How else would we have achieved this peace today if women of Liberia had not stood on the airfield and demanded peace for Liberia? So peace is action.
30 seconds.
First of all, studies show that peace and security is inordinately linked to the lack of women's political participation. And the absence of women at the table is rooted in unequal power relations and violence against women. 2017 remains the year for the highest participation of women as legislators, 165. Yet as women enter politics, who enter politics increases the wave of violence against them and seriously increasing. I must speak as a Liberian woman with a fair grasp of Liberian women issues. For the past subsequent elections, violence has been increasing. As I speak to you, the District 13 report on the violence that happened there is yet to emerge. Freedom of information serves as a precursor to all other rights. Yet, we have not heard updates on what has happened to Madam Justina Taylor for expressing her right or expressing her views on the elections. Furthermore, cyberbullying increased and made its mark on the face of the political surface of Liberia. We need to address all of that. We need peace and security. The Dhaka resolution that was signed in 2010 offers us a path that we need to look back to. Several institutions of UN, ECOWAS, and high-level personnel signed the Dhaka resolution.
Thank you.
And yet we want to hold those who signed that particular resolution accountable, and among those is 50% of the budget.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Magdala Cooper, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Your Excellency, Madam Joe Howard Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, members of the High Table, our sisters from ECOWAS, International Development Partners, good afternoon everyone, and let me not forget the women of Liberia. My name is Magdala Cooper, and I am so honored to be sitting and sharing this table, this panel with all of you, all of my sisters here from the business community, from another politician to civil society. It's a great privilege to be here with you. I came here today because I was invited. Number two, I brought my two daughters with me, Ella and Nita, who's sitting back there. Ella and Nita, please stand up. Our future show women of Liberia. It's important for me to get my daughters involved because they've watched me, my home, run for office. I ran in 2017 and I ran in 2019. It just finished by elections. And I like what Josephine Francis just said, that she ran, she didn't win, but she has no intention in quitting. And I think I stand with her in that. Because it's, some of us will continue to run. Yes, thank you. Some of us will run. We will pave the way for people like my daughters. But we gotta remain strong. Not winning an election doesn't make you less of a woman. And women must stand for women. Whether we like the lipstick color she's wearing or the hairdress she's wearing, we must stand for each other. And I will speak to our leaders as well. It is very important that we are supported by leadership. All of those so-called he for she's, it's time to not just say words, but actually put action behind words. Because we are no fools in Liberia. We are strong women. And we know our contribution to this nation. We know our contribution in keeping this nation peaceful and alive. And feeding from our husbands to our sons and our children, keeping them healthy and keeping them alive. Our contribution to this country will not be taken for granted. And I know our sisters from the ECOWAS community join with us, hand in hand across West Africa, and Africa is large or at large, and across the world. We must stand together, women. We must stand together. And it's no longer time to decide whether we like her. Let's vote for her. And let's support her financially.
5 seconds.
Thank you, darling. This is time that women have real conversation. There is Proposition 9 on the table right now, which is that reserving 15 seats for women, females. Women all women. Women all women. Women of Liberia all women. Let's fight for Proposition 9. Let's stand up. Those 15 seats must be reserved for women. And my dear young sister, I must tell you something very important before I give up my 5 seconds. Whether she's qualified or not, it is time to use affirmative action to get us in. We will decide what our qualification can keep her in or out.
Thank you.
God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, we've heard from our panelists. And so we're going to take 4 questions, a minute, please. And of course, they will tie in all of those and take about 2 minutes to answer all of those questions. So the questions we'll be asking will be centered around women in business, women in politics, political parties, whatever it is, women in peace and security, and of course, civil society as well. Women in politics, 1 person will get on and ask that question. Women in business, 1 person. Women in politics, women in peace and security, and civil society. 1 soul will be taking 4 questions, straight to the point. So if you can give us maybe 15, 20 seconds to ask that question, that will be fine. Go ahead, your name?
The name is Shorty Gahia. Starting business and politics. I'm just a young Liberian woman.
For the question.
So I wrote my question actually. Women, allow me to ask you. Women, allow me to tell you the reason why men succeed a lot in us. It's because they share opportunities. They support each other despite their differences. They believe that the next man can be as good as the next person. We don't talk about peace when it's election time, we sit home and vote for our husbands and our children, and allow our husbands to go and vote for their partners. And then when the election is over, we sit and wonder, how come? But the woman did well. The woman can do this. This should have voted for her. But then we did not vote for election. So maybe we should check ourselves before our priorities right. Okay. Next question, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. The women have said a lot, but I'm going to... Hello?
It's on.
Okay, I'm going to talk about something that I don't hear much when we are in women's forums. For me, the strength of a woman goes beyond our border and the next border and the next border. We watch a lot of programs on TV, the social media, then there's an ECOWAS event. Hello, I would like to appeal to the powers that be in ECOWAS for us. Awareness, sensitization, education, knowledge is very important across borders. When I'm home, I take my time to watch Ghana TV, other TV programs. No, it's important. The reason why I'm saying it is because I pay attention to parliament in Nigeria, in Senegal, in this place. When I have the opportunity I'm home, I try to pay attention to the news to see what's affecting the women across ECOWAS, across Africa. It is important that we as women go beyond our borders and unite, because when we speak in one voice, the reason why I'm saying this, like I just said, the strength of a woman goes beyond our borders. Thank you. VP Joao Taylor, thank you so much, and the panel up there, the ECOWAS ambassador, I want to thank you so much. We have to get to know one another. We must understand each other's issues so that we can unite, find a way to unite and speak in one voice, not just in Liberia, but across all 16 ECOWAS countries and even at the AU level. Take time to learn each other's culture, take time to learn our own culture, appreciate ourselves as Liberians, and go beyond tribes, ethnics and stuff like that. Let us unite